Cup of Joe.
What's up, Gainez Nation? This is Joseph Gainez, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a very important quick podcast, because the market dipped. There was a crash, but no doubt it's a healthy one, and I want you guys to be buying the dip. This is not financial advice. In fact, the contents of this podcast is going to be very risky, and the only people who will profit from this are the ones with balls enough to listen to it, make the right purchases. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just letting you know these are the coins I'm buying to multiply my portfolio by 10 by the end of the year. That's right. I'll be making 10,000 turn into 100,000. I'm going to be making 100,000 turn into a million. I'm going to make 500,000 5 million. This is a 10x portfolio that only the high risk investors should take. Again, high risk tolerance only. If you need your portfolio to be successful by the end of the year because you have to pay your student loans, if you need to pay off your credit cards, your debts, your children's tuition, a wedding, you're going to have to manage your risk and play some safer bets into the top 10, like with Cardano, with Ethereum, with Polkadot. So let's jump right into it. For those listening to this podcast, some Easter eggs. The coins we're focusing on in the paid groups for November, we have three particular ones: Boson, Boson, Polkadot, and Solana. Why? Because for the first half of November, Solana has this huge event, November 7 to November 10. I guess some sources say it's in Abu Dhabi, some sources say it's in Lisbon. I didn't really look into it, but from a technical perspective, the charts match the bullishness, similar to what happened with Phantom. If you bought Phantom at the beginning of October at around 1.3, like we suggested, you were able to sell it at 3.2 at the end of the month with a couple trades here and there. I think Phantom topped out at 3.5, but we sold it at around 3.2. Same thing with Harmony 1. We did that trade in October, and now we're focusing on Solana and Polkadot in November, as well as Boson. What's up with Polkadot? Well, the parachain auctions. If you don't know about it yet, then you're not in our fundamentals channel, and all I have to say is you really have to keep up to date with things. The first one, the first parachain auction slot is sold or will be auctioned on November 11th, I believe. And it's just going to run through November and I think December as well. So regardless, Polkadot is going to be very bullish. So at around $40, $41, that's a heavy buy. Now Boson, low cap gem. It has a 2x, 3x, maybe even 4x potential in November. And it has a lot of things coming up on its roadmap. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but small positions only. So if I were to divide $100 between Solana, Polkadot, and Boson, it's going to be 45, 10. If your risk tolerance is higher, I would go 35, 30, or even 40, 20. Your choice. Now jumping into it. So I have three categories of coins to make a 10x portfolio. The first category is for the safer ones. These are coins with, from a technical analysis perspective, have a higher bound of 10x with a conservative lower bound target of about 3 to 5x. So again, these coins will not necessarily go to 10x regardless of the bullishness of the market. This is more of its higher bound targets. So what are these coins? We have Luna, Terra Luna. We have Polygon, VeChain, Phantom, The Graph. Harmony 1 is still there, but you might want to wait for a dip. Same thing with Luna. Rune, also wait for a dip on this one. There's Arweave. There's SDX. There's Celo, but that's a bit of a risk. CELO. I'm not too sure about that one, but it's on my list. There's OMG, which is a layer 2 token. There's Engine, which comes into the NFT gaming narrative. It's so undervalued from its current price compared to its all-time high versus its macro potential. So undervalued. There's SNX. There's Holochain. There's Zilliqa, another layer 2. There's the KCS token, which is KuCoin's exchange token. There's Cadena, which has been on a strong run lately, but still above rank 100 market cap. It's at around under $7. That is a buy. There's Exker, NFT again with fashion. There's Illuvium and there's Veracity. So among this list, my favorites are Luna, Rune, Cadena, Illuvium, and Veracity if you're more for the higher risk. But if you just want to guarantee yourself a 5x going into a 10x, then Polygon and VeChain, maybe Phantom has to be on your list as well. But don't close your eyes. Don't look away from the exchange token, which is KuCoin. BNB has done a crazy run. I expect KCS to be able to do the same. Next, we have coins that are a bit higher risk. These are on the page 4 to 10 of CoinGecko. I'm not trying to promote CoinGecko or anything. In fact, you can use coinmarketcap.com. And these are just pages in which cryptocurrencies are ranked based on their market cap. And you can also look into their circulating supply. I believe you can look into details about its total supply, total value locked, as well as exchanges it's available on. Very, very helpful, very, very useful. If you're going to get into fundamental analysis and technical analysis, you have to know how to utilize CoinGecko. You have to know how to utilize coinmarketcap.com and how to cross-reference this data or these data into your other sources of information. Now, for the coins that have a 10x mid-bound, upper bound of about 15 to 20x, and a lower bound of 7x, there's Luxo, that's LYXE. There's Cody, which you should know by now, partnered with Cardano to create their stable coins. There's Anchor Protocol, which is going to be very, very valuable at the end of this bull market, especially with the amount of USD that will flood in as we head into a bear market, if that ever comes. There's Ocean. There's Proton, which is XPR. Highly, highly speculative, this Proton token, especially since it's made huge waves up and down over the last couple of weeks. So wait for the price to stabilize. If you can get it at a cheap price, that would be great. There's Oasis. So that's Rose, ROSE. A bit speculative. A lot of people have eyes on this coin. It has good technology. But, if it clarifies its marketing, strengthens its marketing, makes a more visible and functional roadmap, it will explode. There's Alice, which is an NFT token. There's Wilder Worlds, Wild. There's Firo, FIRO. There's Benki, which is the QI token. There's Unilayer, which is Ella. There's MTV. There's Pond. There's Trias, which is not as much as a meme coin as people think it is. And it does have a huge potential. That's why it's in my 10x mid-bound growth potential list. There's Sava, which is Avalanche. There's Umbrella, UMB. There's VGX. There's PDEX. There's Kylin, which is KYL. And there's Sha, which is SHA. Now, my favorites with this 10x middle bound coin watch list is Luxo, Cody, Rose, Wild, and PDEX. PDEX, mostly because a lot of people craze about coins with the word poke in it over the next month. So you want to keep your eyes on these Polka Starter, Pokedex, all of them. Just make sure they have enough relevance to the Polkadot ecosystem and to the DOT token. Now, Wild, that's one of the NFT picks that I really, really want to put focus on. Their game is so much more interesting than the others. If you compare it to TLM, if you compare it to Axie, it's just going to capture a whole different audience. And with the adoption and with the interest increasing every day, I really think that their token will be very, very valuable come December, come January, come March. And now lastly, really, really super high risk coins that if we do see a bullish market with Bitcoin hitting over 80 or 100,000, these coins, 10x is just their lower bound target. So what I'm trying to say is that if we reach a market that's highly, highly bullish and majority of the coins run, these coins can give you a 30x. But remember, this video is focused on 10x potential. So I don't want you guys to think about your 30x degen instinct. This is the 10x lower bound potential. And I'm only going to go with 6 because everything else is super, super high risk. And I don't want you guys to lose your money. There's Exker. There's Layer. There's UBX. There's Boson. Boson. There's Hather, and there's Fractal. I really, really like Fractal, but the other 5 are more of my favorites. We don't really talk about NFT fashion, and I believe that this is a space, this is a niche that can thrive at one specific point of the bull market, and that's when Xker will explode. Unilayer already has its, Ella in the last list is actually Elastos. Layer is Unilayer. Sorry, I got that too confused, guys. Mind that correction. ELA is Ella, which is a 10x midbound. Layer is Unilayer, which is a 10x lower bound. So they had their partnership with Uniswap earlier in the year, and that caused a massive wave up. I want you guys to know that this thing can see that wave up again and continue. 10x lower bound for Unilayer is definitely in the works. Now UBX, very, very low market cap coin and a very, very strong community. You guys saw what Doge and SHIB has done. You saw what Cadena has been doing the last couple of weeks. UBX was actually right behind in terms of growth. And once the market turns bullish and the money floods into this micro caps and low caps, UBX will be running. Now Boson, again, part of our Easter eggs and our November plan, their roadmap's just looking good. And if they reach their potential earlier than December, earlier than expected in November, then I would gladly take profits out and reallocate it into my other coins, my other portfolio, my other bags. So if I were to make a 15 coin portfolio just for me based on my risk tolerance and I want a 10x, I would go with Luna as my main established token, Polygon and VeChain as well to de-risk, Rune, because even though it has ran, I'm going to wait on a dip to buy it. I know it has a 10x behind it. Cadena to ride the hype, and because the whole Luna community is bullish on this. Illuvium, which is an up and coming NFT token, and Veracity. Veracity has been running, and if you've been with us, you've bought Veracity under 1 cent, definitely under 2 cents. And we know it can continue to run maybe to $1, maybe more. For my midbound, as I mentioned, it's Luxo, Cody, Rose, Wild, and PDEX. And for my my lower bound 10x tokens, it's Xker, Layer, UBX, Boson, and Hather. So again, guys, this is not financial advice, but if you're buying the dip and you want 10x on your purchase, you're gonna want to consider these coins. And just to add about Xker, so this is Curate. I don't know why I keep saying fashion, but the thing is, when you look into the whole crypto industry, when you look into NFTs, nothing really touches on fashion such as Curate. But overall, Xker is actually an NFT marketplace. It's like an all-in-one marketplace kind of thing where we have buyers and sellers, not just of NFTs, but of physical things. You know, there's games, there's electronics, and specifically in fashion. So, you know, you use the decentralized blockchain on this, and there you go. Marketplace, fashion, bang, bang, boom. That's why I keep saying fashion. But definitely, this is definitely something I'm looking for to have a 10x gain. I'll probably make a video or a podcast specific to Xker and my favorites. I have one regarding Veracity that I haven't posted, but it's basically why Veracity will make you a millionaire. And hey, maybe Xker will too. Again, my name is Joseph Gainez, and this is your 10x portfolio. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoWithJoe. If you like, if you subscribe, or if you even share this podcast to your friends, it's going to be very, very helpful. Let's make this gains. Let's get rich at the end of this year. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Cup of Joe.